Hi, guys. Welcome back to the TNR podcast. My name is Arianna Maldonado. I'm a marketing major, and I'm here with.
Aman Khan, and I'm a computer science major.
So, today we're going to be talking about what it's like to be a student orientation leader and kind of what freshmen need to know when they come into UC for the first time. Um, I'm on, how long were you an orientation leader? Just one summer?
Yeah, I was the summer of 2025, so last summer.
Okay. And what was it like being an orientation leader?
Oof, that's a big loaded question. It was awesome. I mean, to put in a few words, I had the best of times with the best of people. To put it shortly, it is a one of a kind experience that I think everybody should aim to try it at least once. And I don't think I'm gonna get that kind of experience at UC again. So it
Yeah.
was awesome, wonderful.
Because you mentioned you're a computer science major,
Correct.
which is like through the engineering program.
Correct.
So you said you're going into co-op this summer instead
Correct.
of
I
being a
am.
sole.
I am.
Okay.
Hopefully, I get a co-op, but yeah, I'm assigned for a co-op schedule right now.
Okay, cool. What was the training process like to become a sole and all that?
Of course. Well, you go through an intensive selection process, and once that is over and you get appointed officially as the orientation leader, you go through a month long of training. At the end of which we have a little surprise for everybody, and once we have done enough of training, enough of trivia, because we are again, I am an engineering, student, so there were some things that I did not know about the College of Music or the design, architecture, art, programming, and planning. College ADAPT, CCM, College of Nursing, all of these places. There are a lot of things that a first year student would not know. So we have to go through some pretty intensive training to know quite a lot of bit about all of these colleges, all the kinds of parking garages that we have, dining halls, everything. So once you get through that and get to basically be kind of a mini encyclopedia about UC, you're good to go. And then you just whoosh, thrown in the field to be an orientation leader.
And you have to like live on campus, right, for a little bit?
Correct. For the duration of the summer that you are a orientation leader, you get to live in, well, traditionally Marion Spencer. So
Hmm. How was that? Was it nice? Did you have like a good roommate?
it was awesome. Yeah, my roommate was also an orientation leader. Matter of fact, my entire floor was just orientation leaders. Uh, and also our student orientation coordinators were also on the same floor as us. And when I tell you it's the best thing ever, because I mean, yes, everybody basically gets up at the same time, more or less, because all of us have to be at one place at the same time. So it was how in traditional housing situations you will have one random roommate just waking up at 8 a.m. for no reason, and then somebody's sleeping until 2 p.m. That was not the case.
Yeah.
Well, so everybody kind of gets up at the same time. Everybody, you're gonna see a lot of your orientation leaders grabbing coffee together, getting lunch together, since all of your timetables basically get synchronized. So that's awesome. And then once you have a tiring day, everybody is in bed by quite literally like around the same time because everybody had a long day.
Mhm.
Uh, I loved it because we also used to hang out outside of our work. So when we used to finish our days and weekends, there were not a lot of people on campus during the summer. So we basically were each other's this super giant friend circle. We used to hang out, we used to play Uno, we used to have movie nights, we used to play poker, obviously with no actual money, but it was awesome. Super cool.
So are you still friends with a lot of these people
Oh
then?
yeah, yeah. I actually just met one of them today. Parth, he got basically promoted to be an orientation coordinator. I am so excited to see how he does this summer. I'm pretty sure he's going to be awesome. Not just him, actually, three other people from my cohort. So Samantha, Pedro, and Rachel, all of these were student orientation leaders with me, and now they are student orientation coordinators. So they are going to be the one basically training the next batch of orientation leaders, and I'm super hyped. So I am still friends with a lot of them. Yes.
That's good. So what made you interested in the position? Like, why did you want to become a soul?
Of course. So when I was trying to come to UC and when I was like thinking about UC, I had this one person in kind of a WhatsApp group. Because we were international students. So what international students have is they kind of have a WhatsApp group for a lot of people. There was this one person, Tanishk, and he was somebody who was really helpful to me throughout my process. He was really kind. He was really generous, I had my orientation around August, so that is when the typical international student orientation is. I had my orientation, and then I had, my orientation leader who was also happened to be my student orientation coordinator later on. It's just the whole full circle. But I realized that how much these people want to help me, and how much they made me feel like I was at home. And I was so confused. Like being an international student, you fly out thousands of miles. I had a 72-hour flight. I was done. I was cooked.
Nah.
I was like, oh my god, I'm scared. This is like a new country, a new city, a new college, and you already have the transition of going from high school to college, and then you add in the fact that you're moving to, quite literally the opposite side of the globe. So it was really scary. But my orientation leader was really helpful, and this Tanishk, he was also an orientation leader, so he was really helpful. My existing orientation leaders were really helpful, and all of that was like, wow, I love these people, and they really made me feel comfortable. They really made me feel like I was at home and this is where I was supposed to be. And I wanted to kind of pass that on and try to be the torchbearer for that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
that was my motive going in, and luckily I got selected as an orientation leader.
Yeah, for sure. So does that mean you're kind of still close with the freshmen that you've helped through orientation and all
Yes,
that?
I
Or
am. I am actually. Well, I don't ever tell anybody, hey, you know, never contact me ever again after this. Like every time we have an orientation, we make sure that we let them know. At least I personally, because we have all of our small groups, and I always let them know that, hey, if you ever see me around campus, wave, hi, say hi, whatever. I'm not gonna ignore you. Like it's don't make it awkward. That's the last thing I would want. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will always be a year senior to you guys in any respect. Uh, and I'm lucky because a lot of those first year students felt comfortable enough that they started reaching out to me, whether that was for academic advice, whether that was for co-op advice, whether that was for does the rec center have this workout machine? And I was like, yeah, it does. Or just any kind of advice, dining hall, to friends, to what organizations I should join. And, you know, not all of those, again, because I had interacted with a lot of first year students, but I would say a handful of them are still very close friends to me. And they ask questions to me, and not just questions, they also hang out with me on a regular basis. So, yeah, I'm close to them. I love them. They're like my tiny little ducklings, and I'm like a duck mother, which is kind of a weird analogy, but whatever.
no, that was good. That was good. I liked that analogy. Um, so how would a student go about getting this whole position? You said it was kind of like a weird process, kind of long, also selective.
Correct. It's not weird or long. It's just a selective process
Okay.
because we receive a lot of applications. So I would say around the fall, following a spring and academic year, you would get the chance to. I don't know if this is the exact timing, but I think around that time or maybe in the spring, depends year to year. But every student gets an email about it that hey, we are beginning to hire for the student orientation leader position. Uh, Not only that, once you are actually for your orientation, we also have our little booth, and we ask you to put down your name and email if you want to be a soul later on. So if anybody who's watching this wants to become an orientation leader and they're going for their orientation, make sure to drop by our booth and just give your email and name. We're just gonna send you an email that hey, we're starting to hire. So you're gonna do that. There's gonna be a written application. Then there's gonna be an interview round. This is what I went through: a written application, an interview round. Then I had a mini camp, which was basically kind of a day-long selection process where everybody who was selected up until that round was basically called into Clifton Court Hall, and everybody was just we were just playing fun games and stuff while being observed to see how we would interact with other people who we not know and how energetic we are and everything. And after that, you have one final round of interview, post which you are an orientation leader, if selected.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, so how do you handle crowds? Or like, usually there's a big crowd of people,
Correct.
parents, students. people are usually scared of speaking in public.
Correct.
How did you handle that? Or are you just someone who maybe isn't scared or more outspoken?
Well, yes, I am one of those latter people. I was never afraid of talking to a big crowd of people. I also had to learn a lot of things, though. For example, projecting your voice, that's a very big thing. Because there's a difference between being good at, handling a bunch of crowds and being good at talking to a crowd. You are not afraid when you see 25, 35 people in a group, but are you loud enough without breaking your voice enough so that they can hear you? So kind of like projecting your voice, that's an actual technique that they taught us. How do we project your voice so that in a large group of people you are not shouting, but at the same time people at the very back can hear you? So I had to learn that part. But for my peers who were more soft spoken to begin with, they kind of gained that confidence time over time over time. uh, we did a lot of addressing the crowd kind of situations. So through our training, they basically got rid of that fear. And I mean, you don't walk into your first orientation and you're completely fearless. Like you are still gonna be a little awkward. You're still gonna be a little nervous. Oh, I hope I don't mess this up. But I think once you do that first day, and that goes awesome, and then you get that kind of positive feedback from the student orientation coordinators or your bosses or everybody, that positive feedback, and from your peers as well, that just kind of hammers it down, and you're like, you know what, I got this, I know what I'm doing. So that is kind of how we learn, and I already knew how to speak. I was just focusing on more of my technique, I would say.
That reminds me of like lifeguards. How like at the
Yeah.
pool they have to like yell at people to
Yeah.
like walk and stuff. Like,
Yep.
I'm not the most like I guess projecting my voice type of person, and I had to speak at my high school graduation and stuff. And for me, like that was super nerve wracking because like I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm not. Like I wouldn't say I'm bad at speaking in public, but I'm definitely a more nervous person.
Yeah.
So
So let's not hire you as a
yeah,
lifeguard.
so
is what
maybe
I'm
like
hearing.
so maybe I'm not gonna apply, but like
Yeah.
but like that's okay. But like that's okay. Um, and then what's something freshmen should know that isn't included in the student handbook? Like maybe, I remember I was one of those people that I asked a sophomore, do they have like stairmasters at the rec? What equipment do they have? Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I also just thought I didn't know the garage was a thing when I came in either. So
Oh my
I was
God.
working out like in the main area mostly, and
Yep.
until I walked all the way to the back, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What is this like?"
A whole new world.
Yes, actually. So, yeah, what's something that freshmen should know?
Well, I mean, it's definitely gonna be in the student handbook, but just because you are a student in one particular college does not mean you're restricted to go into other colleges. Like I'm applying this to myself. Today was the first day that I went into the College of Arts and Sciences. So today is the first day that I went into that big hall, right across of TUC. Forgetting the name of it, the Arts and Sciences Hall. But today was the first time that I went inside it, and I should have done it, way earlier because it is a beautiful building. And similarly, if you are a DAP student, you can always go into any engineering building. Just go out and check out engineers in their natural habitat. You're gonna be, I don't know, feel sad for us. I don't know. We are basically just bent down and doing our homework all the time. But yeah, and so goes for anybody. If you're an engineer, be happy and go to the music CCM. Go to the CCM circle. Go to the CCM buildings. Nobody's
the only
gonna
way
stop
to be happy
you.
is to leave the engineering building for engineers.
I mean, I don't know, but it's not that bad. Trust, but maybe. But yeah, it is something that nobody's gonna stop you from doing. Also, at the same time, you're not stopped from going into any dining hall. So go to your dining halls. Utilize your meal exchanges. Those are super awesome. I found a hack, and I was eating at the Bearcats Cafe every other day. Beautiful place. I love the food there.
What do you mean you found a hack? Like
That was the hack. I found out that I had meal exchanges and I was not utilizing them, and I was like,
like
oh,
Grubhub?
not Grubhub. There's also Bearcats. I mean, yes, Grubhub, but that is on the second floor of Tangerine University Center. The third floor has Bearcats Cafe, where you get burritos, and you get chicken tenders and all of that.
And they have like sushi too, right?
Yeah, they have sushi too. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. what's something entertaining that's happened during a tour that's kind of stuck with you or like makes you laugh from time to time? I remember yesterday when I saw you at the rec, you mentioned you had that story.
Yeah.
But then, do you have like any others, or you can also mention that one too? Because that one was like, what the
Oh,
heck?
it's not. Well, that was more of a weird situation. I have not been taught to handle this. It's not funny exactly. Let me actually think. There have been hilarious incidents. Most of the times, parents did not really know that they're not really supposed to bring their car all the way over to TUC. So multiple times there have been parents who drove, like they came in from Clifton Court Hall and like stopped in the middle of campus, so right in front of the Tangipahoa University Center, and they were looking at me holding, like I was there, like holding the sign that says orientation is right behind me, and I was there wearing a red T-shirt and yellow khaki shorts, which is again not my fashion style by far. And their car is right there, and they're like, "Hey, where's the orientation at?" I'm like, "Where do you think?"
So you're actually parked on it right
Actually,
now.
you are, sir. You are the orientation right now. If you don't mind moving, please. So those are just hilarious incidents that when we always think about. Again, we never doubt anybody for asking stupid questions, or we don't blame them. But God, these people ask some stupid questions. Like you are at the check-in table and I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just customer service.
Yeah.
But those are just some funny things that me and my student orientation leaders just talk about, and we just laugh from time to time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's also a new experience for them, so, like, it's understandable. But, like, at the same time, it's, like,
Yeah.
there's no such thing as a stupid question, but, like...
Yeah, there's no such thing as a stupid question, but if we
There's
really put our
instances.
minds to it, this question should have been
You
answered.
tried really hard
Yeah.
to make that question
Hmm.
dumb, but it's okay. That's kind of all I have right now. Do you have, like, any advice you would like to give students that are coming in right now?
Yeah, of course. I feel like the word advice that I always give it to all of my mini group students are two pieces of advice, actually. The first one is don't judge anything before trying it. That revolves, and that pertains to literally everything: dining halls, people, your friends, organizations, and clubs, and all of those things. Just because somebody says that it is horrible or it is bad and you should not do it does not mean that you should take their word for it and just completely skip over it. What if that is something that you end up liking? And people have different choices, people have different tastes. So don't judge anything before you even try it for yourself. Go ahead, try it for yourself. If you don't like it, okay, whoops, it's okay. No harm, no foul. But if you do end up liking it, that might take you somewhere in your life in a whole new different trajectory. Uh, and then the second thing is go to your classes. Like that is literally it. Just that is how you get a 4.0. That is how you get the best GPA you will ever get. Just go to your classes. This is also what Director Casey Drennan, he's the director of New Student Orientation. That is what he says. Go to your classes. Uh, and a third thing, I said only two, but the third thing is one thing that my physics professor told me last semester was that every action that you take is a vote towards the person that you wish to become. So if you are staying in,
Holy inspirational.
that's what I'm saying. That's what she was. She inspired me. And this was my physics professor from my first year. So it's 8 a.m. and you have an 8 a.m. class and it's 7:30 and you're like, I'll just sleep in. I don't want to go. And you're late to your class. You're like 8:15, 8:30. That one simple action, if you repeat that over a couple of times, you're gonna realize that you're never punctual and that
Yeah.
you're never on time. So just make sure that you don't do small actions that are gonna, pile up on you, and then later down the road you just turn out to be that person who's never on time, or
Yeah.
somebody who's just always mean or rude to people. So every little thing that you do matters. So just three simple things.
Yeah, 100%. Something I've seen online, or like, I don't know, sometimes you get those like David Goggins like
Oh my God.
motivational
Yeah,
videos
I
or
get it.
something. But like something I saw recently was like one's like an excuse, or like one bad thing is fine, but two is a habit. Like once you commit the second,
Correct.
the
I
second
get you.
offense or the
Yes.
second excuse to like
Yes.
not wake up for your class, or like the
Mm.
second time you have a cheat day if you're into eating stuff. But like
Yeah.
it's a habit, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
creates bad habits over time.
Of course.
and over
No,
your
that is
life, so.
100%. Yeah, I agree with David there.
I don't think that was David Goggins, but like I saw it somewhere.
I agree with
I know what I'm talking
whoever
about.
said it. Yes, that was inspirational.
Thank you. But yeah, that's kind of I think all the time we have for today, and that's also all my questions. But you've been great. Thank you guys so much, and goodbye.